Good morning, Hike Talkers.
I'll get it one of these days.
Yeah. Hey, we're just learning too. Every day. That's what this is all about. So you got Big D and
Ash.
and
Gotta
Ash?
come up with a better.
What?
Doesn't flow very well.
You don't like your name?
No, just like and Ash. I don't know. You know?
Actually, it probably should be Ash and Big D coming live trailside. So we're gonna get into it here real quick because we had a great conversation going on, back there, with y'all weren't a part of. So we thought we would, we might as well just drop it in and start talking about it. So one of the things that I've had to work really, really hard on is trying to basically get to the point, right? And so as we talk about these various subject matters and consistently address the camera, which is you, so you can make sure that we're not just doing our thing out here, walking along, and you're just a fly on the wall, that these are things we're discussing, talking about in our transformational model and our next step, which, really are one and the same, which is recognizing that for wherever we are in our life, we've essentially hit a plateau, or it's just really just time for the next step. And this becomes a big, scary thing for most of us because we really just don't know how to take that next step. We don't know what the next thing is for us. And I've experienced this so many times in my life, and as I'm sure you have as well. And maybe you haven't put a title around it or a
elevation 520
a specific thought process around this concept, but we've all hit it, we all know it.
Estimated total time,
So what is the next step? How do we formulate the next step? And that's what this HikeTalk journey, this HikeTalk nation that we're developing, what this is all about is really helping you by watching us talking about the things we're experiencing and doing on how to actually formulate a plan and start moving into the next steps. And one of the great things that I've discovered over the years is that everything that we want to do in life is all about what we believe to be true about what we can accomplish in life. And this leads into the concept of limiting beliefs and where did we get our belief structure. And we're not going to get into that today and deep into that. I just want to bring it up because it's a very common thing. So I'm gonna take it much higher level on what we're working on to help you and help us move into the next step through how we think, through this concept of belief structure and how we can get an update to our current belief system. And we believe, I've experienced this so many times, especially over the last 10 years on my transformational journey, is that recognizing that who I am. Is there a vehicle coming up behind us?
There is.
There is. I guess we're going to have to let
Little pit stop.
the rig go by here because we are actually hiking on property that is somebody else's. Yeah. Hey, thanks for letting us hang out on your property.
Workout pause.
We're not going to tell you where we are because they didn't seem to have a problem with it. We're not hurting anything or anybody. We may or may not have permission to be here. I'll leave it at that. So before we were so rudely interrupted with, people taking care of their property, we were talking about this idea of mindset and how we get to the place where we can start making significant changes in our lives. And the one thing that I recognize and realize is that without new information and new people in our lives, you're never going to make the changes that you need to. Because at the end of the day, you only know what you know. You can't see your own blind spots, right? There's all kinds of cliches around this, but it just is the truth. And at the end of the day, if we can't figure out how to get out of our own way, we got to have some people come into our lives that we trust, that will help us move to that phase or into that next step, because they can help us see the things that we can't see. And I recognize learning this, and I'm sure Ashley has her thoughts on this. I learned this through going to various think tank, mastermind groups, various trainings, seminars, so I could get around people that actually were in a position or had grown into a place that I want to be. And I think in your model, that would be pretty evident with working with Olympic athletes and training in the same lanes with Olympic athletes and so forth. And but the point is getting around people that have actually done significant things in their lives and basically have done the things that you want to do. And we found that by going to different functions and being around the type of people that you want to be around, this has made the significant difference, certainly in my life, like the absolute complete. That's how I made the changes, no question. That's how I started, continued, and I'm now, a decade in, my 10th year this year in this transformation. And it's been because I've gone to, invested in, traveling to really amazing places and getting around and sitting around the fire, the campfire, or in a boardroom, or the river's edge, or up on mountains, zip lining, and doing all kinds of really fun, cool things. Being in a boat fishing. I mean, I could go on and on, but the point being is that we've gone on these experiences, and it's something I've wanted to do for many years now, is set up our own retreat site and start really deep diving into solving these significant issues that we all go to or will end up at some point in our life, about plateauing and basically just getting stuck. And so we have this training model that I've been building now for 2 decades, specifically and directly this last decade. And obviously because she's my daughter, she's been exposed to it in all kinds of different ways. Didn't necessarily know and have the names and titles around them, but just helping her with her mindset and thinking on her Olympic track in the day, and then taking these ideas to people. So what we were talking about back there, to get to the point, is we've been working on and looking at various sites that we're going to hold our first significant training, and we're super stoked about that. And this is going to be an amazing event. We don't have a date yet, haven't actually picked the place yet, but definitely have the content and amazing people to get everybody around and introduced to. So really excited about this opportunity. But what it brought up on this location, and we're going to deep dive into this subject matter as so many others, is one of the things that Ashley had just brought up, and I think I want to transition to, because we're already 8 minutes in. We don't want to make these too long. You know what? Maybe we'll hold that to another day, which is this idea of where to actually focus our attention. Because as we're going through this process of looking for our own site, whether we're going to buy property and build something or buy something that's already done, and the prices range anywhere from just ridiculous things to 28 million to 8 million or 10 million to 3 million to 2 million to let's buy into something else, a private lodge model. There's all kinds of options and opportunities, and at the end of the day, we're out here by this little private airport, and at the end of the day, because one of the things she brought up was all these opportunities, right?
Yeah.
So maybe you could say a few words about what you're talking about, and we're going to...
Yeah, just, we have a few pretty awesome locations in mind, and, like anything, there's some pretty significant pros and cons to all of them. One thing we were kind of talking about is the idea of whether, like you kind of just mentioned, whether we want to buy property and basically start from the ground up there, you know, run all of our activities and services ourselves, or if we want to kind of buy into an existing community that has a lot of those activities and services already set up and in place, that we don't necessarily have to you know, invest all our time into organizing and managing all of those. So
High levels, like examples of.
yeah, you know, if we
Catering
Lots of-
services,
yeah, catering.
right? I mean,
all sorts of activities from fishing to restaurants, and honestly, they vary so much, and there's so many.
like if you were to go to an event, you know, are you the event host? Are you the event caterer? Are you the audio visual? Right? Are you the activities coordinator? Right? All these things, and the overall point is, like I brought up to her, she's talking about, hey, this would be fantastic to do all these things. We could generate, you know, various revenue streams and so forth to support the whole program and to grow into the next thing and the next thing. The challenge is that you got to decide, and this is the toughest thing starting out, especially if you're very entrepreneurial minded, is that you got to pick something. You got to pick the one thing that, number one, you got some great skill sets at, right? Or the ultimate would be that it fits right into your lane. You're right into your unique ability. And if you're not doing that, then you're going to find yourself becoming really good at a whole host of things that now you're just really competing in these big markets of, you know, and it was my last words to her as we were just started talking about this idea, is that do we want to be a caterer? Do we want to be in the catering business? No. Not that there's anything wrong with the catering business, it's just not our model.
And this is kind of where the concept of it's not necessarily what you know, it's who you know comes into play, and being able to really focus in on where you're strong and your own skill sets, rather than, like you just said, trying to learn all of these various different things and essentially kind of spreading yourself too thin over all of these areas. So that's where that concept kind of comes into play, and finding the right people to be on your team and help you kind of fill in those gaps, I guess you could say.
Yeah. So it's not the what and the how. It's the
who.
It's the who. There you go. It's the who. And in our model, the things that we're building and so forth, and in this HikeTalk series and training and programs that we're doing, our mission is to be the who for you. And whether we can provide the direct information, concepts, ideas, technology, whatever it is, you'll find that, especially people that already work with me, recognize that I'm like, hey, let me just plug you into this person because they're the expert in that space. And I know what I'm good at, and I also have recognized that I can learn to be good at other things, but those other things generally aren't my natural state. Therefore, I end up spending a tremendous amount of time learning things that I'm going to be mediocre at or okay at. And again, in a lot of ways, it's not bad to some degree, because I know when I'm getting screwed or not, right? So it isn't always bad to have a little bit of information about what the thing is, but no, the point here is you got to know your lane, and you got to find those who's.
Yep.
So we're going to leave it at that. We're super fired up. We're out here again on this, oh my God, glorious day. It's going to be 85 here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. So I think that's it for this episode.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
So, of course, I dominated the conversation again. Trust me, as we get rolling, this one over here will start going on and on and on. And I'm excited for that. So, hey, Big D.
And Ash.
And we will see you on the next episode. So stay tuned.